Hello, I'm Cindy Caldwell and welcome to Second Nature. Do you know what acupuncture is, or have you ever wondered about cranial sacral therapy? Do you know what it means to eat organic? Well, Second Nature is going to answer those questions for you and tell you where to find these therapies in the city of St. Louis. Second Nature is going to be showcasing individuals, doctors, nurses, therapists who do holistic medicine. And today we're going to be talking to Brian Wagner and John Schmieder of Community Acupuncture and finding out what acupuncture is and how their practice is just a little bit different.
I actually heard about it on the internet. I came back from a year backpacking in South America and had been living in San Francisco for 5 years before that, and had gotten really into acupuncture and regular treatments just for health maintenance. And so when I came back to St. Louis, I needed to find an acupuncturist and just put in acupuncture online and found Community Acupuncture.
Acupuncture is an ancient healing technique. It's been around at least 3,000 years, but some people say it dates way back to 5,000 years. They've actually found mummies from about 4,000 years ago that have tattoos of the acupuncture points right on their body, which is pretty amazing. But we have written texts from at least 2,000 years ago of how to do it.
It's very rare that you go into a healthcare office and you come out feeling better. Most of the times you come out with a prescription. And so even if it were to feel uncomfortable for a little while, I know I'm going to come out feeling better.
Community Acupuncture, we're based on a different business model. Our business model is we really try to separate the issues of affordability and the need for treatment.
I was, as a typical social worker, complaining about how many of these healing modalities aren't available for low to moderate income families. And I was quickly quieted by Brian and John's information about the model of community acupuncture, and I was really inspired. I wanted to support it because it matched with my philosophy, but also I had wanted to take acupuncture for quite a while and just hadn't been able to because of the cost of it.
Acupuncture is practiced in this country as a healing technique. We are licensed acupuncturists, which in this city and state of Missouri is a little different than a board-certified acupuncturist. We licensed acupuncturists have over 3,000 hours of training. We have clinical rotations we take as part of our schooling, and I guess I should say now, acupuncture is the insertion of needles into the body. Acupuncture is a healing modality. The ancient Chinese looked at it as balancing your energy. It's an energy medicine.
So tell me what you're going to do to Sue here.
Okay, now Sue says she has some pain in her knees on the inner side of her knee. And what we're going to do with the style of acupuncture we do is very rarely would I put a needle where the pain is. You know, as my teacher would say, he goes, "You never spank the crying child." So her knees are the crying child. So what I'm going to do is go to her elbows and treat the pain by putting needles in her elbows.
Now tell me how that could possibly work.
From a Chinese medical point of view, it completely makes sense. From a Western point of view, they don't know. But from a Chinese medical point of view, what it is there are certain channels in the body, certain pathways of energy. And what we're doing is the channels that are related to her knees, that run through the medial or the inside of her knees, have partner channels. And what I'm going to do is look for treat her healthy channels in her arms to address the knee problem.
Okay.
Okay. So what I typically do is I will palpate or press around to find where there's a sensitive spot. And once I find a sensitive spot, then I usually know that that's the point that's going to work, or that's one of several points that are going to work. And normally with a pain condition, I'll ask her just to touch in. Like, Sue, what level of pain are you at now with this knee, with your right knee? And you can move it around and just test and see how it is, or press it. So you feel that? Okay.
I would give it an 8.
Okay.
You'd give it an 8. Okay. Out of 10. 1 out of 10. 10 being high? Okay.
So what I would do, she felt where the pain was, and I would say that that's 100% of the pain right now. And we're going to see if we can bring it down. And oftentimes, just within a few seconds of putting the needle in, I can get it down to about 40–50%. You know, a 50% reduction of pain or a 60% reduction of pain. If I get that right away, then I know I got the points.
Okay.
So, and a lot of times they can do that with just a couple needles. Okay, so Sue, I'm going to look for some sensitive spots.
Okay.
Right there, not sensitive. You tell me more. A, B, okay, how about C? So B's pretty sensitive.
Do B and C again.
There. They're both sensitive?
Yes.
Okay, so when I find two spots that seem to be equally sensitive, I'll probably needle them both.
And you just did an alcohol swab?
Yes, I
Okay.
swipe the area with alcohol, and then I'm gonna. And the needles we use once. They're sterile needles. They're used once and then disposed of. So needling is very simple. I have a guide tube. I just set it on there and tap the needle in. And the needles go in, depending on which part of the body and what I'm trying to do, they may go in just a few millimeters to a ½ inch or so.
Wow.
Acupuncture does not hurt. There are several points on the body will tell you this may be a little tender, but that's rare. Most treatments, a lot of times the patient says, have you put it in yet? You know, they'll look down at their hand and wonder if you've put the needle in. So I find acupuncture to be very comfortable, and especially once the needles are in, that patient lays back, they get sleepy. I love it when insomniacs fall asleep during treatment. I think it's the greatest thing because those endorphins get released and the patient gets calm.
It's like a big living room we're treating people in. It's not a clinical doctor's office. So there's not much needed from the patient. They come in, we put needles in them, they kick back, take a nap. I mean, it's not much of a demand on the patient, on the client. So they're very comfortable with that.
Well, I had went to the doctor, and I had I've been going to the doctor for several treatments, for several visits, and he couldn't find out what was the cause of my pain. And I talked to my daughter. I asked her. I told her one day. I said, I think I need to explore an alternative form of healing.
The style of acupuncture we do here is a type of style that 90% of the points are either from the elbow down to the hands or from the knee down to the feet. And we may do some head points. Other than that, that's the most they need on clothes is roll up their sleeves or roll up their pant legs. Other than that, it's fine. Nobody finds a problem with it. Most people find it a very easy and accessible way to get treated.
They're great. I mean, it sounds really weird getting stuck with needles that you're going to be relaxed, but you fall asleep. It's wonderful. It's the most relaxing experience. And it's wonderful.
Our goal is not to keep people coming forever. Our goal is, if we can, to get them out, in treatment and out. And with most pain conditions, that's the case.
That's all the time we have for today. We want to thank John and Brian for their time and their perspective on community-based health care. Join us next time for another health topic. I'm Cindy Caldwell, and here's hoping that you'll make healthy living second nature.